This man disappears after swimming in this cave, but 3 years later the police find him. And what he has become will terrify you. Mark loved diving, but what he didn't know was that his passion would turn his life into a real nightmare. At first, Mark only swam in protected areas, but one day, he decided to explore a cave that was off limits to the public. His friends warned him about the dangers, but Mark was determined to go anyway. That decision was a huge mistake. Mark dove in, but he never came back to the surface. After a few days, he still hadn't returned home, and his car was still parked in the same spot. The police then began searching for him, but his body was nowhere to be found. But one day, Mark's parents received a call from the police. They had found Mark, but he wasn't the same man anymore. He had become terrifying, and what he claimed to have experienced in that cave was just horrifying. Tap the plus and comment, "Dive," if you want part 2. This woman thought she'd been bitten by an animal during the night, and when the doctor investigated further, he immediately called the police. Sarah is a 32-year-old woman. She has 2 children and lives a quiet life with her family in Dallas, Texas, United States. One night, Sarah woke up with a very strong pain in her body. She thought she had been bitten by an insect while she was sleeping, but the next morning the pain did not subside, and this made her very worried. Standing in front of the mirror, Sarah was horrified to realize that not only was her body swollen, but there were also some holes scattered all over the skin of her body. Scared, she decided to go to the doctor immediately. When she arrived at the hospital, the doctor sent her to the emergency room and immediately examined her body. When he asked her to remove the bandage from the wound, she could not believe what she was seeing. The doctor told Sarah that it was not just any insect that had bitten her. He said it was much worse. And then they ordered a series of tests to give the correct diagnosis and find out what had happened to her. After a series of tests, the results were finally released. And what the doctors discovered shocked everyone. Comment, doctor, for part 2.